I think on the plateau, I can tell you categorically, I am the first person that start using feed for rabbit. I have made more than 1 million in Rabbitry. I remember there was a time inside my house, you will see rabbits with chicken, with dogs eating together. People could not believe. When they came in, they saw it. You're welcome to Dafson Rabbit Farm. My name is Engineer David Daffen. I started this, I think, 5 to 6 years back. It was my son. One day he woke up and said I should buy a rabbit for him. And knowing that in the early 80s, I myself, I used to keep rabbit, but just for fun. So when my son said I should buy rabbit for him, and I now say, okay, how did he know that I love rabbit? I went and bought 3 rabbits, that's 2 doe, 1 buck. I had interest in this very well, so I was feeding the rabbit very well, and I decided to see that, because I wanted to see that this is a business that I want to set for my son, because he said he wants to. And I can tell you today that these boys know much in rabbit more than I do. He had interest. He has been he makes sure that he feed the rabbit very well. He market the rabbits very well, and that was what inspired me. I said, okay, since he has interest, I will make sure I support him. So that is how I started when I was small.
Yes, sir.
In fact, when I was in primary school, I used to keep rabbits.
Okay.
And rabbits and these guinea pigs. So, but one day when I was, in fact, sitting down here, then my son just came to me that he wants to rear rabbit. And I now say, just like that. And within me, I now say, how did this boy know that I have interest in rabbit and I have kept rabbit before? So I told him, okay, no problem. What we will do, I'm going to set up a rabbit farm for you. So, and I bought 3 rabbits, 2 female, 1 male. That is what I used to start the farm with. Our weather here, the climate is very good for rearing rabbits.
On the plateau?
In the plateau. Yeah, here on the plateau is a very good climate for rearing of rabbits, because rabbits, they survive in a temperature between 12 to 23 degrees. In fact, they love that temperature very well. So any temperature above 27 degrees to 39, rabbits, in fact, it's not a good conducive environment for rabbits. So that was what even, because of the climate condition, because of the weather here, I now say, okay, I want to go into rabbitry. And I know a lot of people, it's a white meat that people love. That is what inspired me to go into rabbitry. For me, it's a part-time job because I have work already. Yeah, as I earlier on mentioned, I am an engineer by profession. I work with ground seals as a maintenance engineer. So, but because of the passion I have for this, so this is, in fact, I have passion for not only rabbits, I have passion for animals. So, and I keep different types of animals in my house. I have dogs, I have geese, I have turkey, I have rabbit, yeah, and chicken, yeah. I started this business with just 3 rabbits. Yes. Then within a short period of time, I have more than 50, I have more than 100, and because of their prolific in nature. So they keep on multiplying. So in fact, I can tell you that there is money in rabbitry. Yes, anybody that say, if you know how to manage your farm very well, there is money in this business. There is a particular senator, I took 5 rabbits to him at the rate of 150,000 naira. 5 rabbits.
Wow.
Yes. Because, and when they saw it, his friends were so happy. When they saw, everybody was saying, in fact, I will bring to him the same rabbit I gave to him, because they loved what they saw. The cost involved, like my own case, is the feeding. Yes, because I use feed. to feed them, and it's giving me results. That's why you can see, if you look at my rabbit, somebody came here with a rabbit that I should cross for him. When he brought the rabbit, he saw these ones. In fact, he left with the rabbit. He said, no, this is not rabbit. But that very day, he went and slaughtered the rabbit. When he carried the rabbit, he said, this rabbit is about 4 kg. Wow. Based on, he used scale to measure his rabbits always. But when he see this one, the same person, that just yesterday, he was telling me that he has 8, he's going to sell 4 and come and buy rabbit here, because those ones are not looking big to him. He's looking at the size of these ones are bigger than his own. I can tell you now, my elder brother is in the US. Wow. So when he came home, anytime he comes home, his friend, he's a medical doctor by profession, and his friends, doctors here, they always, from US, or he'll call me to prepare rabbit meat and go and give to his friends here. Okay. Yes, that is normally, that's what he always call me. Do you have rabbits? I say rabbits, I have. Okay, slaughter, just prepare like 2, 3. Go and give it to so people. Yes, so there is money if you know your way, if you know how to go about it. There is money in this business. Anybody that wants to start or that is just starting, if you want to start a rabbit farm, the advice, I will give, you start it on a small scale so that you will learn, both on feeding, management, the hygiene. When you start with a small number, in fact, you can perfect yourself gradually, because when you are trying to raise fast, in fact, there is failure. So sometimes it's not everybody that will be able to take maybe challenges. Sometimes, within the rainy season, you will discover that some litters, in fact, they will be dying because of weather. So, but if you start with small number, you can be able to manage that small number very well. And if I will advise, if you want to start this, if you're starting with 2 female, 1 male, then definitely you should have like 5 hatches.
5 hatches?
Yes.
Okay.
5 hatches.
Why so, sir?
Good. As I told you earlier, this rearing rabbit is prolific. Because of their prolific nature, 1 rabbit can litter up to 10. Up to, like me here, the highest number I have witnessed on my farm, 15. 1 rabbit littering 15. Yes. So if your rabbit litter, if you have 3, so maybe the bulk should be in 1 hutch. The 2 female should be separated. You don't keep them together. So if you keep your rabbit separately, in fact, you will see how they have that territorial, because they want to be alone. So if they are alone, you see them growing big. And sometimes if you put them together, because if they don't have enough fiber, you will see them eating their their PS4. Because if you see them eating the 4, that means they are lacking fiber. Yes. Wow. So that's why in fact, it's good to keep them separate. So as I said earlier, you should have maybe 5 hatches or 6. 1 should be for the bulk, the 2 for the 2 doors, then you have empty tray. If you have 6 hatches, the empty tray. Those 2, if they litter, you see now, you are taking the litters, after you wean them, you take them to 1 cage. Then after maybe 1 or 2 months, because when they are growing, you now separate the males and the females. You see that you will be lacking cages, hatches. So you need to, if you're starting, you must have extra hutches.
Extra hot.
If you are setting a farm, the most important thing is this one I mentioned now, that you should have extra hutches. Yes, because of litters. So that is it. And make sure the hygiene, that is what is the most important thing. When you are setting a place, ventilation, very important, it's so key. Yes, it's so key. Don't keep them in a place that, because sometimes if the place is too hot, you see them panting. Yeah, they begin to pant, or you see them breathing fast. That tells you that the temperature is not regular, it's not okay for them. Yes.
So that's why it's important for them to have water.
Yes, yeah, you give them water and make sure, you know, they need a cold place. Yeah, the place should be very cold, not that too much cold. Because if the temperature is below 10, then definitely you should have like hay within closer, so that at least they can use it, they can lay on it, and they will be eating. Yeah.
So like it gives them warm.
Yeah, keep them warm.
All right, sir.
During gestation, in fact, I feed them. I make sure I feed them well. I give them enough feed and enough water, and I separate them. I make sure they are not with another rabbit. That's the special care I give my dogs.
Why is that? Is there a specific reason? Because how do you feel? Is it like?
Yeah, because I don't want them, you know, if you leave them maybe with a buck.
Yes, sir.
In fact, the buck will be disturbing her, and she will not have rest. So I want her, every dog that is pregnant, I want them to have enough rest and to be alone, no disturbance. Yeah. I make sure at day 17, I palpate my rabbits to ensure that, yes, they've taken in. So after that, 3 days to littering, I make sure I introduce the next box 3 days before the litter. 3 days, yes, so that at least they can acclimatize with the next box. They will continue to arrange the next box, because I'll put a next box with hay inside. Yes, so that the rabbit will arrange the next box very well. Yes, by herself. So before she litter. Yeah, but after kindling, sometimes, yeah, challenges we normally have here with rats. So after kindling, I discover that at times rats will eat up the litters. So what we normally do, if I will not cover the cage well so that rats will not have access, then if they litter, I will carry the next box inside my room. Then early morning, that is in the evening before I sleep, then early morning, I return the next box to the door. Then for that, I have no issue. But avoiding common problem is just what I have said here. Hygiene is the most important. We centered on hygiene. To avoid those ones, that is the key point. Hygiene is very important. Make sure that you wash, like me now, it has been a routine for me. Every blessed morning, I wake up sometimes 5 o'clock. I wash all their feeders. Because even if I see water, the remaining water that I put today, tomorrow morning, I cannot, in fact, I have to throw it away. Wash the container. Make sure I wash their feeder and then put fresh water for them. Even the feed, I wash their feeders, put feed. Because I don't see the remnants. See, another thing that you don't put too much feed. Make sure you give them what they will eat and finish within that time. Let them look for it, then it should remain in their feeder. Yes, because it can, if it stayed long inside it, when they pee, sometimes it begins to form mold. So when it forms mold, in fact, it can create problem for them. Sometimes you discover that rabbits are having bloat. So sometimes it's not the best. Just give them feed that they will eat and finish at that time. Like this one, I feed them once. Like in the morning, I've given them. I'll not give them till tomorrow. Yeah. From Rabbitry, I've seen that you need to start on a small scale. Not when we want to go into business. Don't rush. Don't say, okay, I want to start big. Start small. Yeah, from this one, because I know that I started very small and I have grown and understand the intrigues of Rabbitry. I have known a lot, not reading, but at least practically, I have known a lot because I started it small and I'm growing in it. So it has taught me that, in fact, I have to be resilient. Yeah, definitely, because I know there are ups and downs. There is no business that you say is just, you will not, we have what do you call the risks. Yeah, there is risks in every business. Every business that you touch, there is risks. Yeah, so, and I have learned a lot in Rabbitry, because if I'm growing gradually. Yes, with a few number, I'm growing gradually, and definitely, and I'm seeing good results. Yes, because I know a lot of places, people are calling me every day. This one, even this morning before I wake up, somebody was calling me, want to come and pick rabbit.
Wow.
If you want to start rabbit farm, start on a small scale. 3 rabbits, in fact, is very good, so that you can master on it. With those 3, you can master on it. And then, as I said earlier too, if you are buying 3, make sure that the number of hatches is very important. For those guys that want to go into this business, make sure you have enough hatches that you can be able to separate your rabbits, and make sure you have your litters, and then make sure that your hatches cage are very clean every day. Make sure you clean your hatches, keep them neat, and make sure your drinkers, feeders are always clean to avoid infection. Anybody that say he's starting rabbit and there is no money, because he don't know how to go about it. Because the way you prepare your bed, that's how you sleep on it. So if you know how to go about this business, I am telling you, there is money in it. Because people will just sit down there. You don't expect that, okay, like me now, I buy feed to feed these rabbits. You don't expect somebody that will you just buy rabbit, go and keep it. You just go by the side looking for leaves and then come and drop for the rabbit. Somebody brought the rabbit for me that I should cross it for him. If you see the rabbit like pepper, I said, no, this rabbit is, in fact, rabbit like pepper, how do you expect this? I said, no. Go and feed this rabbit first. When you feed it, then you bring it back. Because this rabbit, seriously, I cannot cross it. So it's feeding that is very important. When you feed the rabbit very well, you will see the result. And anybody that comes to your farm, he will admire what he's seeing. But when people come into the farm and they don't admire what they are seeing, okay, like now, you see this one. I told you that somebody came yesterday. When he saw this rabbit, he was telling me, what is the secret? I should tell him what I'm using to feed this rabbit. Because he saw all the, and he see them, they are looking healthy, they are looking beautiful, and that is how a farm should be. Not that you just see rabbit and you see it's just emaciating and you say you want to sell. Who will buy it with money? But when you give it, you feed it well and you put the money, people will buy. Let's say within 5 to 6 months, you begin to see your return on investment. Yes, if you manage your business very well, definitely. Because now there is no winners. Now winners go from, let's say, 7,000, 7,500. Yeah, winners. It depends on the breed too. Like Angora winners, we sell 10,000 naira.
Because you're special.
Yeah, exactly. So return on investment is fast, and you can recoup your money within a short period of time. The mistake I made early on that a lot of people don't know. So there are some rabbits that when they litter, in fact, they will go inside the next box, they will poo, and then urinate inside.
Wow.
So if your next box is not perforated, in fact, all the litters will die because their urine is acidic in nature.
Okay.
So because of that, it will kill them all. You lose them all.
Wow.
So when the first time I made my next box, in fact, they were just plain plywood on the floor, and then I lost a lot of litters. So within me, I now look at it. Okay, when I discovered that it was urine, the mothers, even the litters, when they soak breast, definitely they will urinate.
Yes.
So their own urine itself make them, it stain the place and make the place wet. So I decided to say, okay, if this is how it is, I use wire mesh at the bottom. So even if they poo, it goes down. If they urinate, it goes down, and everywhere is dry. So that is the mistake I made earlier, and I lost a lot of litters. The first time we sold rabbit it was my son. He sent one rabbit to Ibadan at the rate of 35,000 naira. That was the first time. He is the one that the first sold rabbit with money in this house. He said, when I said, where is that rabbit? He said, Daddy, I have sent the rabbit to Ibadan. How much did they pay? He said, this is the amount. I said, wow. And so, in fact, had it been, I know I would have started this business since before now, because I think I'm more than 5 to 6 years on this business now. Rabbits are prolific animals, and it's a business that if you pay attention, in fact, your return on investment is fast. It is only when you know how to market. If you can market rabbit very well, the return on investment is so fast. And it's something that you don't need a lot of capital to start rabbit. That is why I decided, okay, let me just go into rabbit. And since we started, in fact, this has been a very nice business for me. You wake up early morning, clean up. When you keep your cages, hygiene is very important in rabbitry. Hygiene and then feeding. So feeding, if I wake up early morning, it has been challenging if you have enough of rabbits. So the challenge, most of the times, as I've said earlier, is just hatches because of their prolific nature. So you need more cages if you want to go into rabbitry. You need a lot of, that is for business. You need a lot of cages, hatches, so that at least whenever the litter, you remove your litters into empty ones. As I told you earlier, I was looking at it, it's just something that you just look for leaves, you just look for, but it's beyond that. So I think on the plateau, I can tell you categorically, I am the first person that started using feed for rabbit, because I was in the group, that is Rabbit Breeders Association on the plateau. We formed the group. Then I now introduced them into this, that's when we were using Pigito for pigs. I work with Grand Series. So I am the first person that started using Pigito on rabbit. So even in the office, they were even asking, who is that person that is buying this Pigito always? So I now told them, I am the one. They say, what am I using the Pigito for? I told them, because of the pallet size. Because the pallet size is very good. You will not waste. There is no waste. But if you use all these ones, they will be wasting it, throwing it away. But the pellet size of Pigito is very good. They pick it and you will not have waste. So I now decided, okay, let me just use this. So sometimes I use cabbage, but I don't use cabbage much, because cabbage nowadays, because of the chemicals they put on the farm, That's why I don't so much like using cabbage for the rabbits.
Okay.
So I use maybe acha hay. Yeah, I use it for them, at least for fiber. Yeah, so then I use feet. There are breeds that I select to keep here on the farm, like New Zealand White, and Chinchilla, that's standard Chinchilla. And then we have American Chinchilla. Then I have Angora, yes, and then Harlequin. So these rabbits, the reason why I go for these ones, because in fact they are marketable. People ask for them much and they are selling. So like Angora, the Angora are selling, even though they don't give birth like other rabbits, but they are selling. Like this check even, checkered. People are looking for, like this one, somebody wanted to pick them all. I said no. For now, I'm building a new structure behind that I want to transfer my farm, so that, because I'm thinking of getting more than 200 to 300 rabbits in my farm.
Okay guys, we're going to be dropping his contact details in the video description. So if you want anything, if you have any questions, any inquiries, you can reach out to him.
Yeah, I'm available.
He's available. He's very available.